Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Waterfed Pole Show on WCR. This is our third episode. Today we'll be talking about pure water. I believe pure water is one of the most important things about the Waterfed Pole and pure water method way of cleaning, because if you don't have pure water, you're not going to have clean glass. The glass will have spots on it, it'll have streaks, and it's just not going to look very pretty. So I think that selecting the right way to get pure water is probably the most important decision you'll make with the whole thing about water-fed poles and how to use them. Even more so than the water-fed pole, because even if you have the most expensive water-fed pole and you just use tap water, you're not going to get results that make you happy. So that's why I think that pure water is one of the most important decisions you'll make, and why you should consider some of the different options that are available to you. So how do you figure out what method is best for you as far as to get pure water? Well, the first thing you need to know is your TDS. Your TDS is the total dissolved solids that are in the water in the area in which you're working. Now, your TDS could vary between different areas, even if it's a mile down the road, because it may come from a different water treatment plant. So I suggest measuring the TDS from several of the different areas in which you work and kind of get a good average, because it may be really high way someplace else and then super low just a couple miles down the road. So I suggest getting a good average. So how do you check your TDS? Well, the way I suggest is to get a TDS meter. They're available from windowcleaningresource.com. I think they're about $23, $25. They're super cheap. And they're super easy to use too, but I'll show you how to use one. Here I have some pure water. It just came out of my DI tank, so it is pure, and I'll show you how to check it. This is the TDS meter. You have a on and off button, a temperature button, and a hold button. So if you had to hold this at a quirky angle or whatever, you could press the hold button and it would keep the TDS on the screen so you could read it. But what you do is you just take a glass of water that you want to test, put the TDS meter in it, and you'll see that the reading is triple zeros. So this is pure water. With this water you could clean any kind of window and it would be streak free and would look great. So that's what you strive to go for. But to show you the difference, I have some bottled water to show you. This is, I stole it out of the refrigerator. My wife will probably kill me. This is smart water. She pays a lot of money for it. It's supposed to be vapor distilled water, and it's got some electrolytes in it too. So let's see what the TDS on this is. Just pour it in. And then you measure it the same way. So 31 total dissolved solids. 30, 29, we'll go with 30. So not too bad. It tastes pretty good. Not worth $3 though. So around here we have a TDS, the highest I've ever measured is 50 in the upstate of South Carolina. So I've even measured a reading as low as 19 before, so that's super great. Now your water will start to spot, I've been told around 10, so you want to keep it well below the 10 mark. I don't allow my water to get above 5. I use a DI tank because our water is so pure. That's all I need. A DI tank is a very cost-effective way of getting pure water. I can get about 2,000, 3,000 gallons to a DI tank of pure water, so I worked it out before. That's about 2 cents per gallon. Now if you live in an area where your TDS is over 150, maybe 300, which is still allowed by the EPA as drinkable water, you're going to end up paying a lot of money if all you use is a DI tank, because you're going to have to recharge it every 500 gallons or every 200 gallons or every 600 gallons. I'm not exactly sure, but you're going to run into replacing that or regenerating that DI tank very frequently. So what you would do in that situation is you would need a reverse osmosis system, and most reverse osmosis systems have a DI tank attached to them, because what they do is the reverse osmosis membrane, it allows water molecules to flow through it, but it doesn't allow the contaminants to flow through it. But that membrane will filter the water down to about 5 or so parts per million of TDS, and then your DI tank will finish it off. It'll polish the water off to give you a reading of 000. So there's a little bit of upfront cost with a reverse osmosis DI cart, but it's actually going to save you money in the long run. So that's the trade-off with that. But they all work pretty great. Now I don't know a whole lot about the reverse osmosis units because I've never had to have one. Never had to learn how to use one. Never really learned how to know a whole lot about it. I have done some research on them, so I know a little bit, but not a whole lot. Hopefully here in the future we'll have one that we can show you how it works and what it does and some of the neat features about it, some of the disadvantages to it. I know that with a reverse osmosis unit you do produce some wastewater, water that is not able to be filtered and doesn't do you any good as far as cleaning windows. So in an area where there may be a drought or something like that, you may have somewhat of an issue with that. So that's something to take into consideration. But all in all, everything can be worked out with it. So that's pretty much it about the pure water. Again, you can get the TDS meter to find out what the water is. If you want it to be a little bit cheaper than that, you could try calling some of the water treatment facilities in your area. They should know what the TDS is in your area, or what they're putting out. They should know what the TDS is there. They should at least have an average for you. So you may know if your TDS is in the 50 or the 400 area range. So that may be a start. But again, I suggest just buying the TDS meter. So that's it for this week. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more to talk about next week. We'll hopefully be doing some actual window cleaning next week with the Waterfed pole. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to that. I tried shooting some of this out in this evening, but the sun went away, so we lost a lot of light. So I had to come indoors. So that's why we're not cleaning any windows today. Maybe next time I can show you the setup that I use. You'll probably never see a more simpler setup, because all it is a DI tank. You got a hose coming in and a hose going out. That's basically it. So we'll be filming another series, another episode next week, and I'm looking forward to filming it. Hope you guys are looking forward to watching it. But until then, y'all have a good day and stay safe out there cleaning windows.